Have you ever felt like your mind is waging a war against you? Like no matter how hard you try, self-doubt, fear, and procrastination keep pulling you back? Today, I'm going to show you how to win that war, not by changing your circumstances, but by changing the battlefield inside your mind. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, habit by habit, day by day. But here's the catch. It's not just about doing the right things. It's about defeating habits that are silently destroying your potential. Every time you allow negative thoughts, excuses, or fear to control you, you give away your power. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you will ever wield, but it can also be your greatest enemy. Every day, countless thoughts race through your head, many of them whispering, "You can't do this. You're not good enough. Why even try?" These thoughts might seem harmless at first, but left unchecked, they become the chains that hold you back, the walls that keep your potential locked away. Negative self-talk is the silent killer of dreams, the assassin of confidence, and the thief of action. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how prepared you are, or how ready. The world is for you. If your mind is telling you to stop, you will stop. The first step to defeating this inner critic is awareness. You must catch yourself in the act. Pay attention to the words you speak to yourself in moments of stress, doubt, or failure. Are you criticizing yourself for mistakes? Are you imagining worst-case scenarios before they happen? Every I can is a choice you can change. Because here's the truth. Your mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. The thoughts you feed it become the reality you experience. Feed fear, and you feel paralyzed. Feed courage, and you find momentum. Once you recognize negative self-talk, the next step is replacement. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring challenges. It's about creating a mental narrative that empowers you rather than diminishes you. When a thought says, "I'm not capable," immediately replace it with, "I have the skills, I have the strength, and I will figure it out." When your mind says, "This is too hard," respond with, "I grow through challenges, and this is an opportunity to get stronger." Words are not just words, they are energy. Speak to yourself as a champion speaks to a champion, but awareness and replacement aren't enough. You must take action to reinforce this new mindset. Every time you confront fear, take initiative, or complete a task you were hesitant to start, you prove to yourself that your mind's old scripts are lies. Momentum is created not in thought alone, but in action. The more you act against negative self-talk, the smaller it becomes and the louder your inner champion grows. Finally, surround yourself with reminders of your potential. Read books, listen to motivational content, and spend time with people who see your strength, not your doubts. Your environment reinforces your inner dialogue. The more positivity, clarity, and inspiration you expose yourself to, the easier it becomes to silence the inner critic. Defeating negative self-talk is not a one-time event, it's a daily battle. But every day you win, you claim more control over your mind, your energy, and your life. You begin to act from empowerment rather than fear. You start to see solutions instead of obstacles. And step by step, thought by thought, you become the person you were always meant to be: unstoppable, resilient, and mentally unbreakable. Procrastination is more than just a bad habit. It's a silent assassin of potential. It's the voice that whispers, "Later, I'll start tomorrow, just one more minute." The clock ticks, opportunities slip away, and your dreams drift further from reach. Every time you procrastinate, you reinforce the story that you are not capable of taking decisive action, and over time, this story becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The moment you allow hesitation to dictate your actions, you give your power away and your confidence erodes without you even noticing. The first step to overcoming procrastination is understanding why it exists. Procrastination is rarely about laziness. It's often fear masquerading as delay, the fear of failure, fear of discomfort, or fear of stepping into the unknown. When your mind predicts struggle or judgment, it instinctively seeks avoidance. Awareness is your weapon here. Recognize the signs, the excuses, the distractions, the rationalizations that sound convincing, but ultimately keep you stagnant. Catch yourself in the moment when your energy diverts to trivial tasks and name it. Say, "This is fear. This is procrastination. I am choosing differently." Naming the enemy gives you power over it. Next, break your tasks into micro actions. One of the biggest traps of procrastination is overwhelmed looking at a mountain of work and feeling powerless. But massive challenges are conquered step by step. Instead of trying to climb the entire mountain at once, take the first small step. Write the first sentence. Make the first call. Complete the first 5 minutes. Momentum is addictive. Once you start moving, your energy shifts, fear diminishes, and progress becomes inevitable. Action is the antidote to hesitation. You must also create a system of accountability. Promise yourself, or better yet, someone else, that you will complete the task by a specific time. Externalizing your commitment forces your brain out of indecision and into action. Pair this with daily rituals. Set non-negotiable times for focused work. Eliminate distractions and celebrate small victories. The more consistent you are, the less power procrastination has to derail you. Another powerful tool is visualization. Picture the sense of relief, the pride, and the momentum you will feel after completing the task you are avoiding. The brain responds to vivid emotional imagery. When you see the reward of action more clearly than the comfort of delay, your mind naturally moves toward execution rather than avoidance. Finally, recognize that procrastination is a habit, and habits are broken by repetition. Every day you choose action over delay, you strengthen a new neural pathway. Every small victory compounds, and slowly, what once felt impossible becomes effortless. You transform from someone controlled by hesitation into a person defined by decisive action, resilience, and unstoppable momentum. Overcoming procrastination is not about perfect discipline. It's about taking consistent steps against fear, discomfort, and distraction. Each action, no matter how small, chips away at hesitation and builds your mental toughness. The warrior mind is won not by waiting for courage to appear, but by acting in spite of fear every single day. Victim mentality is one of the most destructive habits you can carry in your mind. It's the belief that life happens to you rather than because of you. That circumstances, people, or luck control your outcomes. When you see yourself as a victim, you hand over your power, your choices, and your potential to forces outside your control. Every time you blame the world, you give away your ability to change, to grow, and to succeed. But here's the truth. The moment you take full responsibility, you take back your life, and nothing can stop you. The first step to eliminating victim mentality is awareness. Catch yourself in the moment you start saying, I can't, they did this to me, or life is unfair. These phrases are not harmless complaints. They are chains that bind your mind and dictate your reality. Recognize that every situation, no matter how challenging, contains a choice. Even when life is difficult, your response is yours to control. Awareness alone is not enough, but it is the foundation of freedom. Next comes ownership. Stop giving power to circumstances or people. The moment you take 100% responsibility for your life, you shift from being reactive to proactive. This doesn't mean denying that challenges exist. It means refusing to let them define you. You may not have chosen every event in your past, but you do have the power to decide how it shapes your future. Every decision you make, every action you take, and every thought you choose either reinforces victimhood or builds empowerment. Choose wisely. A crucial practice is reframing challenges as opportunities. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn? Or how can I grow? A victim thinking sees obstacles as punishment. Empowered thinking sees obstacles as stepping stones. Every setback, every failure, every difficulty is a chance to develop resilience, creativity, and strength. The shift from blame to curiosity transforms fear into fuel and frustration into momentum. Surrounding yourself with accountability and inspiration is another key strategy. The people you spend time with shape your mindset. When you engage with those who embrace responsibility, seek solutions, and act decisively, you are naturally pulled into the same mindset. Conversely, spending time in a circle of complaints and excuses only reinforces the victim story. Choose your environment carefully. It will either reinforce your limitations or amplify your potential. Finally, take immediate, consistent action. Every time you respond to a challenge by acting, you weaken the victim narrative. Each small victory compounds into confidence. Each decision strengthens your autonomy, and each success reminds you that you are not a passive participant in life, you are the driver. Mental toughness is built in these moments when you refuse to let circumstances dictate your story. Eliminating victim mentality is not a one-time decision, it's a daily commitment. It requires vigilance, honesty, and relentless action. But once you embrace this mindset, you step into a life defined not by excuses, fear, or blame, but by power, responsibility, and unstoppable momentum. You stop reacting to life and start creating it, shaping every outcome and becoming unbreakable in the process. Your emotions are powerful. They can drive you to greatness or pull you into chaos. The difference between success and struggle often comes down to one skill, the ability to control emotional reactivity. Most people react impulsively, letting fear, Anger or frustration dictate their decisions. They allow a negative comment, a setback, or a challenge to hijack their mind and their day. The result: missed opportunities, broken relationships, and a sense of helplessness. Mental toughness is built not by avoiding emotions, but by mastering them. Responding rather than reacting, acting from clarity instead of impulse. The first step is awareness. You must recognize the triggers that set off strong emotional reactions. Is it criticism, pressure, uncertainty, or conflict? Notice the physical and mental signals: tightened muscles, racing thoughts, a surge of irritation or panic. Awareness doesn't mean suppressing the emotion. It means noticing it before it controls you. By observing your feelings, you create the space to choose your response instead of being driven by instinct. This small pause is where power lies. Next, reframe the situation. Most emotional reactivity comes from interpretation, not reality. The same event can trigger fear in one person and opportunity in another. When you feel a rush of anger, fear, or anxiety, ask yourself, what is really happening here? What can I learn? How can I use this situation to grow? Reframing shifts your mind from victimhood to empowerment, turning obstacles into stepping stones instead of roadblocks. Breath and physiology are also critical. Your body and mind are connected, and uncontrolled emotion often manifests physically. When you feel tension rising, take a deliberate breath, change your posture, or step away from the trigger for a moment. These simple actions interrupt the fight or flight response and allow rational thinking to return. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes to stay composed under pressure. Daily mental conditioning is essential. Visualize challenging scenarios and rehearse your ideal responses. Train your mind to respond with calm, clarity, and action rather than fear or frustration. The more you practice in controlled conditions, the easier it becomes to stay centered in real-life chaos. Mental toughness is built through rehearsal, repetition, and conscious choice. Finally, take ownership of your emotional state. Blaming others or circumstances for how you feel is a trap. Emotional mastery comes from realizing that no one can make you feel anything without your consent. You choose your thoughts, your interpretations, and ultimately your feelings. Each time you respond with control, you reinforce the neural pathways of resilience and weaken the reflexes of reactivity. Controlling emotional reactivity is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you pause, reframe, and act with intention, you strengthen your mind, expand your influence, and protect your energy. Mental toughness grows in these moments of choice where you refuse to be a slave to emotion and instead become the master of your inner world. This skill transforms challenges into opportunities, setbacks into lessons, and fear into fuel. By mastering your emotions, you step fully into the power, clarity, and unstoppable momentum that defines a life lived intentionally. Comfort is seductive. It lulls you into stagnation, masks fear as safety, and convinces you that good enough is truly enough. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you shrink your potential, delay your growth, and slowly surrender your power. The truth is, mental toughness is forged in discomfort. It is created in the moments when you push past the familiar, step into uncertainty, and do what most people are unwilling to do. If you want to win the war in your mind, you must break the cycle of comfort consistently, intentionally, and without excuses. The first step is awareness. Notice where your life has become automatic, where routines are dictated by habit rather than purpose. Are you avoiding difficult conversations, challenging tasks, or new opportunities because it feels easier to stay in your comfort zone? Recognizing these patterns is critical because comfort often masquerades as safety. But safety without growth is stagnation. Awareness shines a light on the subtle ways comfort holds you back and gives you the chance to act differently. Next, challenge yourself deliberately. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens when you stretch beyond your limits. Set daily actions that push you out of your familiar patterns. Speak up when you want to stay silent. Take on tasks that feel intimidating or learn skills that feel uncomfortable. Small, consistent acts of courage build momentum. Each time you confront discomfort, you send a signal to your mind. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a guidepost pointing toward growth. Reframe discomfort as opportunity. Most people perceive discomfort as something to avoid. But the most successful individuals see it as the doorway to transformation. Pain, struggle, and challenge are not punishments. They are fuel for strength, resilience, and mastery. The next time you feel uneasy, ask yourself, what will I gain by facing this? How will this challenge make me stronger? This shift in perspective transforms fear into excitement, hesitation into action, and the unknown into possibility. Create an environment that encourages growth. Surround yourself with people who push boundaries, who embrace challenge, and who reject complacency. Limit exposure to distractions, excuses, and people who normalize mediocrity. Your environment either reinforces comfort or amplifies courage. Make sure it pushes you forward rather than holding you back. Finally, take action consistently. Breaking the cycle of comfort is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. Momentum is built by repetition. Each choice to embrace challenge, face fear, and step into the unknown strengthens your mental toughness. Over time, discomfort becomes familiar, fear becomes manageable, and courage becomes a habit. Your mind adapts, your confidence soars, and opportunities that once felt impossible become achievable. Breaking the cycle of comfort is the key to unlocking your true potential. It is the force that separates those who dream from those who act, those who settle from those who dominate. When you choose growth over ease, challenge over stagnation, and courage over complacency, you forge a mind that is resilient, unstoppable, and ready to win every battle life throws at you. Discomfort is no longer your enemy. It becomes your greatest ally in the pursuit of excellence and mental mastery. Here's a powerful Tony Robbins style final thought to close your video. War in your mind is not a distant battle. It is fought every single day. The moments you think no one is watching, and the choices you make when comfort whispers, and in the way you respond to fear, doubt, and challenge. Mental toughness is not a trait you are born with. It is a skill you build habit by habit, thought by thought, and action by action. Every negative thought you defeat, every delay you overcome, every fear you confront, and every comfort you step beyond compounds into unstoppable momentum. Remember this, your mind is your most powerful asset. Protect it, train it, and master it. The habits you allow to control your thinking today will shape your reality tomorrow. So choose courage over fear, action over hesitation, responsibility over blame, and growth over comfort. These are the choices that define winners, the people who don't just survive life but dominated with clarity, strength, and relentless energy. The question is simple. Will you continue letting your mind run the show, or will you take back control and become the architect of your own destiny? The answer lies in the daily habits you commit to 7, 10, or even 50. Small decisions that cumulatively transform you into someone unbreakable. You have the power to silence your inner critic, conquer procrastination, rise above excuses, master your emotions, and thrive in discomfort. The war in your mind is ongoing, but every day you win a little more. You get closer to the life you deserve. Start now. Take one action today that scares you. Say one empowering thought to yourself. Take one choice that builds your strength instead of feeding your fear. Momentum starts small, but it grows fast. And before you know it, the person you are becoming is unstoppable, unshakable, and unbreakable. The battlefield is yours. The choice is yours. The victory is yours.